Oh my God!
Mine's showing it's still waiting is live now.
But where's...
It's frozen, but it says it's still, you haven't ended it, it's just frozen.
They're coming back on. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. I don't know where your speaker is on this phone.
It's on the bottom of the phone. It'll be on your left-hand side.
Alright, well, I gotta wait for everybody. I gotta wait for everybody.
Everybody's asking to hear it. Not you tell them they want to hear it.
I did play it, but you can't hear it.
Everybody's saying they can hear it.
They can hear what was said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then you shut it off and started telling
I didn't shut it off. Oh, yeah, I shut it off.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm live on another one.
Oh, you went live on the
Yeah, I had to.
People are still talking on this one. You froze.
Well, they're coming on the other one now. I'm already up to 40-something people, 46. Alright, I'm sorry you guys. I didn't know if you could hear because on my phone when I'm playing it, it sounds quiet. And I didn't know if you guys could hear it or not hear it. And then I don't know what happened. Something went with my phone or with my wife's phone. One thing I'm not good at is phones. Maybe I need to take a class on everything they do at phones. But I'm glad. I didn't know if y'all could hear it or not, but I see that everybody said they could hear what was being said. So, like I said, so then what happened was I walked out to the vehicle that I was in, and when I walked out to the vehicle I was in, I ended up filming, and this is the film right here. Let me click this over. This is me filming it.
So I sent in another person in.
And these two windows right here, these two windows are Jesse's office, Jesse Weed's office.
And see if Jesse Weed will see her while I'm out here waiting.
Alright, so what that was, that's me. I'm filming the inside through the windows.
Can I bring this in closer?
See, I'm bringing it in closer. Here's the windows, and you'll see them walking past, back and forth the windows.
Right there. Yep.
See, you can see her shirt right there. She's in his office.
The secretary's in there. Supposedly he had somebody in there with him, but she's standing right in front of his desk. So obviously we know that's a lie.
And she's right there. You can see her. She's right here on the edge of the window in his office.
She's talking to him. There ain't nobody. Look, she's standing right there.
And this is after I came out, and she said that he was in a meeting with somebody. So I came out, and there she goes by the window. She went right by that window right there. So then I send this girl in there. A couple minutes after I send her in there. She goes in to the office, into the prosecutor's office. So this is her going in to the prosecutor's office. Now remember, she said he was in a meeting with somebody and he could not talk to me. So now she heads in.
No, not the tripod one you're holding. You don't have it in front of the camera. You can't see it.
My name's Ashley. I just have a few questions.
Okay, this is when she went back in. I got to go to the next one because they had to split them up of the how much time was on there. So here's the second one.
I had went through up in Columbus. I had taken her up there to the college. Yeah.
Okay. And then
That's the prosecutor talking to her.
The annex is who I went through. Yeah, I didn't know it was called that.
the sheriff's office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sheriff's office meeting. Because I know we didn't prosecute.
Right.
And they would have, have you talked to them about getting filed?
Not yet.
Okay.
Do I need to talk to them first?
Talk to them first, because they should have a base report. And, I don't know, when did we do this? What I'm trying to remember.
It was a while ago.
Yeah. Because it's
Okay.
that might be on site. It'll be the same information.
Okay.
And there he is.
But
There's the picture of the prosecutor.
for us, it's off site, and I've got
She's holding her phone there.
a person this week.
Okay.
So, so I go in within 2 minutes after me going in and them telling me that he was in a meeting with somebody, and then we come outside and I filmed that there was nobody in the meeting because she's walking in, he stands up, he comes past the windows, she goes past the windows, they're back and forth, probably more or less searching for me because I made the comment, I have all day, I ain't going nowhere, I'm going to stay right here. She walks in the building, asks to see the prosecutor, and he comes right out and talks for 5-10 minutes with her about another case because this girl had a case with him. So that's why I was able to use her because I knew he'd come out. He comes out, chit-chat, she's got him on video, but he would not speak to the father to ask questions about his daughter's sexual assault, the murder, and the arson of my 8-year-old daughter. Refuses to talk to me. And he is a public official. He works for the state. He is the county prosecutor. And he's supposed to be building a case and bringing the people that did this horrible crime to my daughter to justice. And the reason I'm showing this is because I'm going to tell you right now, come 2020, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he's not a prosecutor for Fayette County ever again. He is not qualified because, like I said, he represents the victim and he represents the corruption people. So he represents both parties. He doesn't represent just the victim. But it's so disrespect. That is so disrespectful that he would turn around and not have time to talk to me on a case that is supposedly ongoing, open case, but he'll turn around and in a minute or less come out and speak to somebody else about a case that is already closed and already is he never went to trial. He even tells her, "Oh, ain't this the one that we didn't get to go to trial on?" So that just shows you right there that the reason they're not talking to me is because they cannot answer, not even the prosecutor can answer the questions that I am asking about what went wrong with my daughter's case. Why haven't you ran DNA? Why haven't they talked to these witnesses the night of the fire? Why haven't they done any of this stuff? Because that's the reason they're not talking to me, is they don't have the answers to tell me why. I think it is so disrespect to Mackenzie. That you knowingly know that this case was messed up from the get-go, and the father that was cleared in 2009 of all wrongdoings walks into the prosecutor's office and he won't even speak to me about my daughter's case. He won't even let me ask, hey, have you all talked to those 7 witnesses yet? Hey, have you done the DNA check on the boyfriend and the uncles and the cousins of this, of Mackenzie's relation? I don't care what anybody says. I proved tonight, or today, that they are covering up Mackenzie's case. Because if they had nothing whatsoever to hide, if they had nothing to hide, they would not care to talk to me. They would not care to answer my questions. By them avoiding me is only to protect them at the end of this, when there is a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Fayette County and the corruption of what they did to my little girl's case. I am so disappointed because you go over to the commissioners and they tell me to go talk to the prosecutor. Prosecutor won't talk to me. Well, that's because you're leaking out confidential information. What confidential information? If anything, I'm giving them the confidential information that I have, that I went out and knocked on doors and found, that I went out and discovered myself to what happened to my little girl. So how am I leaking out confidential information? Because you ain't gave me a damn thing. You ain't told me one damn thing that I can sit there and go, wow, I didn't know that happened. Because you ain't got nothing because you didn't investigate nothing. Instead of investigating my daughter's homicide and my daughter's sexual assault and my daughter's arson, you took it upon yourself to figure out a way to cover up what happened. So I got to sit back and think as a father that I listen to my 72-year-old mom that tells me, go to the beginning of this. They're protecting somebody that's important. Somebody that was involved in that homicide, that sexual assault, and that arson is who they're protecting. So I got to think about who is more willingly that they would protect. Because I look at it, they could care less who the mom is. They could care less who the uncle is. They could care less because, like I said, they've already failed the lie detector test. They've already failed, told thousands of lies about what happened that night. So they would have already got an indictment, arrested them, and brought their asses in. So it ain't them. So now I got to look on the other side of the fence where we have people with that last name that are sitting, that work for the courthouse, or they're a state representative or a person, or what do you call it, public official. And then I've got to look, there was law enforcement on that side. There's still law enforcement on that side that works for the sheriff's office. So I got to lean more towards who they would protect. Are they protecting law enforcement? Or would they protect these 3 little weasels over here that we already know that are involved in my daughter's murder? And I just can't see Vernon protecting them. But I see Vernon protecting his best friend. I see Vernon protecting this side. And then this side threatening this side to keep their mouth shut. Because we'll deal with this. We'll get it cleared up. But here's the punch. What Vernon P. Stanford never thought about was he never thought that this dumbass redneck hillbilly was that smart, and that he would go out here and do what I did, and I would find all this information. That was the mistake. They thought by telling me every day, hey, keep your mouth shut, let us deal with this, let us handle this, we're going to get this. He thought I would stay that way for 13 years. And he thought wrong. And the bad part about it, the shameful part about it is, I am a father with an 8th grade education. I didn't graduate. I have no law degree. I have no law enforcement degree. I have nothing. I didn't even go to college. I didn't even finish high school. But that's where they made their mistake. They thought because that was the person I am, I wouldn't figure this out. They never realized that I was a father. See, that's where they made that mistake. They didn't think that I would act like a father and go after my daughter's case as a father. They thought I would go at it as this dumb, uneducated redneck, because that's what they call me, and I wouldn't go nowhere with this. They could beat me. But I'm not the one shutting up. See, they didn't shut my mouth up. I'm not the one they're closing. My mouth ain't closing. See, I'm going to tell the truth. Whether 22,000 people that live in Fayette County hear this or not hear this, I really don't give a rat's ass anymore. Because I look at it this way. 22,000 people, after watching these videos and seeing the things that I have presented that are facts, that are actual documents from agencies, that photographs that are actually true photographs, all 22,000 people should be behind me on finding justice for my daughter. But it's not that way. But I also know one thing too. I'm not doing this just for my daughter. I am doing this for every child and every parent, every grandparent out there that deals with corruption in small towns. I'm hoping that people learn from this and educate themselves that never stop. Always keep moving. If you feel that, let me put it this way. The day I sat in my room and looked at my daughter's picture, and I got that gut feeling that something was wrong, that was the day my daughter was telling me, you better look into this. So if you're sitting at home and you got a gut feeling that something ain't wrong with something, if you had a loved one that passed, or a loved one that was murdered, or a loved one that, and you think that, man, that gut feeling I feel, go with it. It's better to be proven wrong than not proven at all. And then you live the rest of your life asking yourself, what if? What if I'd have done this? I don't live my life no more of what if. What if I'd have been there that night? What if I'd have done this in 2006 instead of 2007? Those what ifs, I don't answer to those no more. I don't look at what ifs anymore. I look at, I'm moving forward, and I'm going to take my daughter's story, and I'm going to put it out there. And I'm going to deal with it the way that I best can deal with it. Like I said, if I'm a liar, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that I'm the liar. That what I'm talking about, what I have been sharing for the last 2 years with all these people, that I'm lying, like the mother said. Oh, he's making up all this documents. He's printing these documents himself. He's fabricating these tapes. He's making fake photos. Man, I wish I was that good. Because I would make sure that I made a document that would put your ass in prison the rest of your life. If I was that damn good. But bottom line is, it disappoints me that the person that I voted for, and I'll admit, I voted for 4 years ago, thinking that this person was going to make a difference and get the people that committed this crime against my daughter. I voted for that person, and he failed me. He failed Mackenzie. He failed this community because he's allowing a sexual predator, a murderer, and a arsonist run these streets that could possibly do this again to somebody else's family or somebody else's child or somebody's mom, somebody's niece, somebody's granddaughter. They're allowing it. They have the facts. Like I said, it broke my heart today. I knew, though. I did know. I mean, I'll be honest. I knew what was going to happen because I already been down this road once with them where they lie. And that's the bad part. The prosecutor makes his secretaries, well, he don't make them because that's a choice. That's a choice of their own. And I guarantee you the women in there go to church and they hold a Bible in their hand and they all know about my daughter's case. Come out and bold out lie straight to the father that's trying to find justice for his little girl. He tells his own employees to lie. This is what I've been trying to explain to a lot of you guys. This is the battle I fight every single day of my life with my daughter. This is a battle that I should not be fighting. This is a battle that should be fought between the people that did this to my little girl and the justice system that's supposed to get justice for her. But instead, it's me battling this. It's me fighting this every day. It's the saddest thing. Hi, Kelly. It's so sad that the people that we try to trust are the ones that's failing us. Shaking my head. I ain't gonna, not even if it means it costs me my job. Tyler, I don't know what you're talking or what you're trying to say. I don't know if you're trying to say that they lie because if they don't lie, then it would cost them their job. I think that's what I'm hoping you're trying to say, because that's how I look at it. It's like I said, a lot of these people that work up here at these court systems, that work for the judges and all that, they know what happened to my daughter. They watch these live feeds, but a lot of them don't say nothing because they're afraid of losing their job. But if you sit back and you think, if I was in Donald's shoes and it was my daughter and I worked for the judge, would I allow this to happen to keep my job? Fuck no. I would tell that judge to shove my job straight up his ass if I worked for him and it was my daughter. Because if you choose your job over your daughter's or your son's murder or your child's murder, then you're the one with the problem for choosing your job. Jobs are a dime a dozen all over this fucking world. But it's sad because a lot of people will. A lot of people will stay out of something because they work for the politicians. So all you politicians out there, all you political people out there, you don't have the right of freedom of speech. Because if you did, you wouldn't worry about your job if you spoke what you wanted to speak. That's the truth. So, it's sad that that's how our political runs is. And that's why a lot of people are pissed at Trump, because Trump wants to speak the truth. Trump wants to tell you what the hell is really going on in this country, and people don't want change. People don't want to believe it. People want to say it's all right to let people come over here and rape our children and rape our wives and murder our families, and then instead of getting justice, they're sent back to their country, and then their justice don't mean a damn. They didn't do it. They didn't do it in Mexico. They did it in the United States, so we could care less. So they get a free walk. That's what he's trying to say. The bottom line is, the truth of all this is, our justice system is what's wrote backwards. Our justice system is written backwards, not forward, backwards. Our justice system protects the guilty, not the victim. And we yet today in society has not realized that it's the victims that get punished. It's not the person that did the crime. They don't get punished. So our justice system, our laws, are wrote backwards. Because it ain't to protect the... Why should we call it victim witness? Because they don't protect the victim. The guilty party is the one. The victim is the one that's suffering. The victim is the one that pays the price. And when you lose a child to a murder, I'm a victim for the rest of my life. My family are victims the rest of their lives. We have to go on with our lives every single day till we take our last breath, knowing that that person did this to my loved one. So we're the ones that suffer. And I always look at things. I always look at how other countries, some other countries over there, the cops don't even carry guns. Because when somebody does a crime, they're punished harsh the first time. So they don't do that crime again. You know, they steal something, they cut their hands off. If they touch a woman and they're not married to them, they cut their wiener whacker off and throw it in the dumpster. So they don't do it again. I'll bet you if we took these sexual predators out here that keep touching children, and we took them and we castrated them, I guarantee you they won't do it again because they ain't got nothing to do it with. Instead, we give them probation. We put them back out in society to hurt another child. So, like I said, I'm going to play now the coroner's tape. I honestly, truthfully, you guys, share the hell out of this. And I mean share it, because what I'm about to play on this tape, where I talked to the Montgomery County coroner today, everybody needs to really pay attention to what's being said, how it's being said, and you'll understand where I'm at today and why I am as angry as I am. And I'm serious, you guys. Please, take the time out. Make sure you're somewhere where you really can pay attention to this tape that I'm about to play. You really listen to details of everything that I'm discussing with the Montgomery County coroner and what he is explaining to me what happened with Mackenzie's case. I really honestly want you guys to share it. I mean, share the hell out of this. Try to get more people on here. I mean, 64 people out of 22,000. That's not a lot. But I would love for you guys to share it before I get ready to play this tape. And I promise you guys, it will wake you up to exactly why what happened today with the prosecutor, what also has happened to Mackenzie's case. You guys are really in for a rude awakening. Hey, Kim, if you're, I know you're upstairs. I can't see people's comments. I don't know how to do that. But let me know if you can hear the tape real good. Or Sean, if you're on here, somebody on here, just let me know if you guys can hear it real good. Just kind of give me thumbs up over on the or the like button if you can hear it real good, so I know you guys can hear it. Deaf, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't see no clothing. And that's what I didn't understand, why the earrings came back that was in her ear the night that she was murdered, but not her clothing.
Right, because we treat the valuables are treated differently than given to the family. We traditionally destroy the clothing, and when it's in a case like that with the fire, because it's and it has it's a biohazard and other things. So we just did not we haven't traditionally offered it back to the family, but I guess it's you're educating me. Families might want it or need it.
Right.
We just have, the valuables are treated differently. There's nothing I say. We treat it differently and conscious of returning anything of value back to the family, and the clothing is often, because it was held as evidence, we just destroyed it. But yeah, that may be a good learning point to try to, have that.
Well, you look at okay, what I'm trying to say, and please, I'm just doing this as a father,
I appreciate it, yeah.
With my daughter, but they always say that wherever a victim is found on a homicide, everything is evidence. Everything that body's around, touches, is on that body. It's all supposed to be collected and held, which I saw on, like I said, in the paperwork, it said it was held, see notes. So you guys held it on, what'd you say, April the 30th?
Yeah, whenever the case happened.
April 27th is when she was murdered, so, and you said on the computer said April the 30th is...
let me look it up again.
Clothes were held?
How did I get to that let's see, 4/30/2006 at 9 a.m. was when we entered in the computer. I don't remember when she came back. Was it on the 20th?
She came back on the 28th.
Yeah, so they entered the paperwork the next morning.
So on the 30th at 9 a.m., the clothes were technically held as evidence.
Correct.
And then after you held them for 3 months.
It looks like August 15th.
Yeah, that's what I have. August the 15th, 2006 at 12 a.m.
Yeah, that's obviously just a default time, but
what do you mean by default time?
Well, at 12 a.m., obviously no one's here. It's just the computer entered a time.
Oh, okay.
We entered a day, the computer just defaulted to midnight.
All right. So
they don't have the time.
But what I don't know. Okay, so and then you said after the fact of the clothes being questioned about being destroyed is when they...
That's my recollection, that we sort of created a document. It said Dr. Gay authorized it, because that's how we operate, but there was no true documentation in real time that's what happened. Does that make sense?
Oh, you mean that whether Dr. Gay did give the permission to destroy or not give permission?
It wasn't documented at the time, but that's what happened. So then we created a document to say that's what happened. It's my recollection.
Right. So that's what they mean by C notes then?
The C notes just means what we have. I don't know why, to be honest, with the form doesn't print out what we held.
Right.
But in the note, I can tell you the note, what that means is there is a note that I can look at that's free text in the bottom of this field that says t-shirt, panties, and 2 socks. It's just because, I assume, because the form can't handle 37 items of clothing.
Right.
So it's just free entered into a note sheet. But to your point, it's not very user friendly on your end trying to read out what it is.
Right. No, because you're sitting there trying to figure, when you just see all held, you're trying to figure out, okay, what all was held.
Well,
right. What
yeah.
What else?
I can see it, but obviously, the report. Let me look and see if I print out the property log, what it looks like. That is what you're seeing is the evidence log, and because clothing.
Well, and the other one now I have that you gave me is Montgomery County Coroner's Office Evidence Collection Sheet. collection sheet, which says
Yeah, that's-
swabs, oral, rectal, vaginal, hair, head, and then down below it has clothing, an X, and then it says panties, t-shirt, 2 socks.
Right. That's our actual document. That's the paper we actually do the notes on, and then it's entered into our system from that sheet.
Uh-huh.
And then the electronic system prints out these forms. And so there's 2 sets of forms. One is what the computer sort of prints out,
Right.
and then the other is the notes that go along with it.
Right. Okay. Because I just wanted to make sure that I have what has been sent to me, and then what.
You have everything, there is no extra notes on there. You have everything.
Okay.
But I don't know. The clothing is obviously half burnt. I assume that's why it was just destroyed, because it's charred. It has soot all over it.
Well, when we talked about, me and you talked about the DNA. When we talked about the DNA, and you collected and you found DNA, internal DNA, on Mackenzie.
All right.
Okay, would that be your guys' job? Because when you found the DNA, it said that was found on or entered on May the 9th, which would have been a week after her burial. She was buried on May the 1st. So would that be your guys' job, or would that be the leading detective's job that's handling Mackenzie's case that would request, okay, you guys contacted us, you guys found DNA, we need the clothes checked?
That's a good question. It was our job in this case. It's just normally not our job. I know that's a weird answer, but typically what happens and what didn't happen is because she left here and came back. Dr. Gay then called and said, hey, the story's changing. Thought it was an accidental fire, maybe something else. Did you do swabs? We said no. She came back. Because of that, there was no law enforcement representative here.
Right.
Typically there is. So what happens after the case, the law enforcement representative gets the evidence and submits it to the crime lab.
Uh-huh.
And by doing that, the report goes to the law enforcement representative who submitted it. The way this happened, what happened is we submitted it directly to the crime lab. So it came from the coroner's office to the crime lab. So when the report came back, it came to the coroner's office instead of going to law enforcement. And that was our mistake, because somebody just filed it in her case file.
Right.
I never saw it. So until the sheriff reopened, probably the 3rd or 4th time reopened the case, and I was going through the paper file, I found it. And that's why the case was mishandled from the beginning. I've told you long before, I apologize.
Right.
That's on me. That's our fault. But it was because we did something outside the system, and that paper got was a mistake. It should have gone to law enforcement. That was our responsibility.
But they're the ones. But our law enforcement is the one that requested the swabs to be done.
Correct, but it's all on everybody. It should have been followed up from their end too, because they knew we did the swab.
Right.
But I can't put it on them because I have the report.
Right.
I should have, that's on me. I should have, got it to them. So you're right. Everybody knew it was out there and should have been followed up on.
Right. Everybody knew. I mean, you got, like I said, they're the one. You're not at the crime scene. You're at the lab. So they know what they're asking for. They requested it. They sent and requested it, and you just said that Dr. Gay even called and said, hey, did you do the swabs? Because there's some other things that came up, determined that this wasn't an accidental fire.
Right.
You already explained to me about, when you guys washed her, sent her back, she came back, and that's kind of hard to find anything now because you washed her outside of her body, but the internal, that had no effect on, which then you found the sexual assault DNA, male's DNA. So they knew, they asked you for that to be done. So it's not just your all's fault only, it's their fault too, because they knew they asked for that to be done. And if you're doing an investigation that's an ongoing investigation, one of the things the lead detective should have done was contacted you all and said, okay, we requested swabs. Did you get the swabs done? Did you have, where's that report? Blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Communication is where the lack was.
Correct. You're absolutely right.
And then, like you just said, when they reopened it, when Detective Brown passed away, and then another detective, when they reopened it, then it became, here's this. It's been sitting here for 6 years. Here's the DNA.
That's what happened. And that's mostly why the clothes are also destroyed, because we weren't aware that, there was one suspect, all those. We would have held the clothing had it been, had it been ruled, or, obviously a homicide from the very beginning. And this case sort of fell in those, cracks where our system needed to be better.
But the thing of it is, at the same time, I'm not going to say, the Fayette County Sheriff's Office should have said, they're already asking for swabs. So they already think that there's something foul play. I'll just say foul play, because they're asking for swabs. You do that, you find it, but the thing of it is, they even knew that there was foul play, so they should have automatically said, hey, we want those clothes checked, or we want those clothes brought to us so we can send them to be tested, or because the thing of it is, we honestly don't know today what could have been on those clothes.
That's a fair statement.
We have no recollection of that, if there was combustion, fuel, or urine, or blood, or DNA, or a piece of hair. We don't know, because that was a lack of communication. 3 months later, the clothes are destroyed.
They are destroyed. So you're right on everything. I can't argue, except I do go through them. I mean, you're right. There could be a little fiber or something on there, but they weren't unlooked at. We did look at them, but they weren't done through the crime lab detail. That is correct, and certainly weren't swabbed for the potential of other DNA being there.
Now, my question, I don't know if you can answer this or not, I'm just going to ask you. We know it was sexual assault. We know you found DNA where you found it. But when I look at the autopsy report, and it says vagina, normal of an 8-year-old. Is that just saying it's normal, like the size and everything of an 8-year-old?
There's no trauma.
So, for sexual assault,
it doesn't have to be, a large, it couldn't have to be penis, it doesn't have to be a male penis. It could have been a finger,
All right, okay.
So it doesn't have to be, it's still a sexual, there's still a Y chromosome where it shouldn't be.
Right.
Something putting it there doesn't necessarily have to be semen or,
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay.
It would have to be something, we were unlikely to get just a few skin cells to get the Y, but it doesn't have to be, and there doesn't have to be insertion either. It could be, I'm not trying to be gross and it's your daughter's, I feel uncomfortable saying, it's not like you haven't thought about this case 100 times.
Right.
Obviously, semen and sperm are modal, so that could have been external and then transferred internally, either through our swab or, moving or...
Right.
And there's nothing to say it was that night either,
Right. Right. And I was told this is true too. A child that has been molested or whatever would not show like tears or blood unless it did happen, actually that night. If a man really got on top of her, raped her, that night, then there would possibly be damage to that area. But in a period of time, it would not show that as, this could have...
She could heal, but she's
right.
Still...
Right.
She could heal, but I think she's normal for an 8-year-old. I don't think she'd ever been traumatized. That makes, I can see old injury, and by that, an adult male in an 8-year-old, I can see that. It would leave scarring.
Okay.
So I don't think that penetration was occurring with an adult.
Okay.
Certainly, the external contact is possible. That just transferred the Y, transferred the Y. We were able to get DNA internally. But,
Right.
She's normal looking. Obviously, if an adult male is not trying to be crude again, but
right.
a small person in that area with an 8-year-old, maybe there isn't, but going to be a lot of damage. But she doesn't have any damage or scarring to suggest there's some ongoing, chronic abuse.
So, but it was male DNA, and it just shows that where you found it, that should not have been there.
No question.
And by your determination, you're saying that you don't believe it was that night.
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm saying it doesn't have to be that night. DNA can be picked up days later from a rape.
Right.
I'm not saying her case was rape, but finding DNA doesn't give us the timing. It's because until it's washed off or
right,
clear a lot of those cells out, then we could still potentially find DNA.
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
do you have a sheet of paper that says Montgomery County Coroner's Office personal effects listing?
Personal effects listing. Let's see. I have from you guys. I have Montgomery County Coroner Office evidence collection sheet. Evidence sheet where it says description of evidence, one sealed envelope containing oral, rectal, vaginal swabs.
Yep.
Then I have the evidence sheet of what was destroyed, and that's it. That's all I have.
Yeah, I just printed it, so it's never been created, so I don't know. It wasn't on a file to send you, I guess, because I just created it. But it's where we have the jewelry and the clothing printed out.
Okay.
It prints out, so if you want it, I can send that to you.
Yes, sir. Whatever you can send to me, I would appreciate you could send to me.
Yeah, we sent everything in the file, but obviously the system can generate other reports.
Right.
I've never done it before, but I just tried to print it, and it prints out a listing that shows the clothing printed out.
Okay. Yeah, if I could have that, and if I can have, I got the photographs, the exhuming photographs, but if I could have the notes or whatever on the exhuming.
Notes on the exhuming. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll get it.
All right. And you got my address still?
I'm sure we do because we kept the file. If not, I got your number. I can call you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir, so much.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, you guys. So you heard what I heard today on the telephone. And I'll be honest with you guys, just like I posted, because I'm filming this with my wife's phone, and then I'm able to get on my phone and read your guys' comments and stuff. And, I should not have to listen to what this person did to my daughter. I shouldn't have to listen that being told that we messed up, that, we didn't follow the protocols, we didn't do this, we didn't communicate right, we didn't, so to try to make it right, we fabricated documents to present so that we didn't look like, we didn't know what we were doing. And, one thing about this coroner is he has opened up to me, he has talked to me, he has given me everything I've asked for. Every document, every photograph, every single thing. And even though they admit to what they did wrong, I still blame Fayette County. I blame Fayette County because they're putting me through living hell, man. That I have to listen to how they found this internal DNA, how it possibly got there, I mean, like he said, he wasn't there. He wasn't at the crime. He don't know, how it was, either if it was done by fingers or if it was done by, it's sickening. It's just pure sickening to what this animal did to my little girl. And that's what upsets me, is there's 22,000 people that live in Fayette County. 22,000. And out of 22,000, 13,000 and something are children. And this animal, this monster, and I'm not excluding the egg donor, but this monster that did what he did to my little girl, and because it broke my little girl down, and it took her motherhood away, her childhood away, her ever looking and respecting a man, because it took those things away, and because my little girl trusted in her father and loved her daddy more than anything in this world, slipped up and said I was going to my dad's and I'm not coming back, because she knew with all her little heart, she knew I would protect her no matter what it cost, even if it was my life. And my little baby slipped up, and they knew that she was going to tell me. And it cost her her life. And these pieces of shit that work for the law, that are prosecutors, judges, city officials, that know this facts, turn their head, all because they don't like me. But by turning your head because you don't like me, you're turning your back on a little 8-year-old child that did not deserve this at all. In 2004 and in 2005, she pleaded, she begged this county to investigate what was happening to her and her brothers. My little 8-year-old, at the time at 7 and 6 years old, stood up and begged for somebody to investigate what was going on to them. And because this county ignored it and turned their back, and because they put in their own writing, in their own notes, that this is a father-mother custody battle, the father's trying to dig up dirt on the mother. Remember one thing. Yeah, you might have thought I was digging up dirt on this mother to try to win custody. I won custody. I won custody because my children knew I loved them. And that's all that mattered. Not what a judge's decision was. Not what anybody else's opinion was. My only thing that mattered to me in my life was that my children, whether I had them or didn't have them, and unfortunately I had them, they knew their dad loved them. And because of people that are biased, and because people that turn their cheeks to men, because they think every man is the same, and every man, if that was true, I wouldn't have married the wife I married if I thought she was going to be another Mary Ann. You never judge a person from the outside. And because of this, and because of my daughter pleading, this county turned their cheeks because of who I was. Because why? Because I was a father that cared about my kids. Because I wasn't one of these fathers that ran down the road and knocked up another girl while I had responsibilities with another one. Because I chose to get custody of my kids. Because I believe that it took two parents to make a child, not just one. So because of that, you didn't protect my children. And because of that, my daughter's dead. And because of that, my daughter was sexually assaulted. In something you already knew was going on 2 years prior to her death. 2 years prior, you knew my little girl was begging for help. And you ignored it. And because of that, and because I exposed it, you still today don't want to face me. I feel sorry for your own children, because how can you sit there and hold your child and hug it and kiss it every night and say I love you, knowing you turned your back on another child? Because in my eyes and in my world, no child is different. Every child is the same. Every child is equal. This is why the bullying goes on. This is why people do what they do. Because parents don't show they care anymore. And the reason they do that is because the justice system put our backs against the wall. And now that it's a big issue in this world that our children are overrunning us and threatening us, hey, go ahead and bust my butt, I'll call Children's Services on you, or I'll call the police on you. This is why this stuff goes on. We live in a fucked up world. Greed every time. And it shows it every day. When our children go to school, and because 6 kids are in a group, and they all have Nike shoes on, and they all have Nike clothes on, and these kids over here don't, these kids don't matter. That is what's wrong. And it's us, the parents, that need to change that. It's us, the parents, that need to let our kids know that we do care, that we do love them, and they need to talk to us. And that's the thing that we fail as parents. We don't ask our children enough. How is school? How was school? How was today? When you see your child going up to the room, not always is that child going up to that room to get on a PlayStation. A lot of time that child's up in that room just waiting for that door to turn and open up. And a parent say, are you all right? Would you want to talk? We don't take time out of our lives to talk to our children anymore. And that's the truth. I see it every day. And I'm an absent parent with my kids with it. Because just like with this case, I spent a lot of times on my daughter's case because of what happened to my daughter. But then I lose track of my other kids and what they're doing in their lives. And that they need me too. It is so different, this world today. It's so different. But I do know Fayette County failed Mackenzie Taylor Branham big time. They failed that little girl. And I hate it. I hate that they did that. But the worst of it all, they know there was an uncle that touched my little girl, that has a police report saying gross sexual imposition. They never questioned that man. They never got his DNA. They know there's another uncle that failed a lie detector test about his daughter. They never done anything there yet. They know that the boyfriend has a history of beating kids that ain't his and torturing kids and doing things to kids, and they ain't done nothing there. All because of one thing. And I figured this out. The reason why is because they cannot, as a parent, stand in front of me and tell me why. And they know that I have proven who's behind all of this with my daughter. And because of that, They don't want to, they would rather go down than to admit their wrongdoing and get this over with because of their own pride. Their own pride. Because they don't want to look like a sheriff department that didn't know what the hell they were doing, and that some redneck with an 8th grade education come walking in and solved his own child's death. That's all this is about. Being embarrassed. You embarrass yourself. I didn't embarrass you. I did what a father should do. I went out and I searched for my daughter's justice. And because of doing that, I was able to get the information and the contacts and the evidence that I got today. I didn't try to embarrass you. The facts embarrass you. Because you didn't do your job. My little girl begged. She begged you all to help her. And because you didn't, this went on. And because it went on, my little girl had to eventually break down and make a point that she had enough. She had enough of the sexual assault. Before it gets any worse, I'm going to go tell my dad. And because of that, these monsters hushed her up. They destroyed her and killed her to shut her up. And you know this. And you know the fire was to cover up her death. And you know this. And you still won't get off your lazy fucking asses and do your job and go get these son of a bitches and put them where they need to be. With all my heart, with all my might, I will do everything I can, possibly, to take down everyone that's involved. Not only the ones that did this horrible crime, but all the ones behind it that didn't do their job. I will take you down until my last breath. I promised this to my daughter that I would not stop. And I meant every word I said. If you don't like your fucking job, leave. McDonald's is, hell, we just built a Sonic. Go up there and put an application in. Because that's probably where you're going to be working after I'm done with this. That's probably the only job you're going to get. But what upsets me the most is this community. 22,000 people in this community. And I hear it all the time. About somebody else that's being charged with something. Friggin' 800 people be on there. I know this person. I know this person. They wouldn't do this. They would not do this. No way. I never thought my ex would kill my daughter. I didn't think my ex would let a man sexually assault my daughter. So yes, wake up America reality. It can happen. I guarantee you, millions of people that sent their kids on Boy Scouts never thought that these Boy Scout leaders were what they were. I bet you 1 million people that sent their kids to Catholic churches and other churches never thought that that preacher that stood in front of that podium and had a Bible in his hand and he's preaching God's gospel to you did what they did. You honestly, truly never know everyone. I don't know. Just because you get down and you say I do, and you love this person and everything, you know their life. You don't. Like I said, I fell in love with her. I married her. I had 3 children with her. I never in my entire life thought when I laid my head down on my pillow, I would get a phone call saying, your daughter's dead, in the hands of the mother. But I do know 22,000 people. My numbers on this top should be higher than 62. If you cared about your own child and you knew that there's a person out there that raped, sexually assaulted, molested, whatever you want to call it, murder, and arson, set a house on fire to destroy her body, you should be concerned to what I have to say. You should be concerned to what I am showing the community. And you should get on your hands and knees and thank God that there's a person like me that will face every challenge to show you what's going on. And the way things are going, me at 49 years old, the saddest thing that could ever possibly happen is for me to pass away and not actually get the justice I want for my little girl. And I live with that every day. I tell my wife all the time, you know, man, I die. You know, I'm up there. I mean, I'm almost 50 years old. Anything can happen. Where does this go? Is anybody going to carry on to get justice for this little girl? Because obviously we all know the truth. The mom ain't doing a diddly shit about this. That egg donor sitting over in Tip City right now is standing behind a bar serving alcohol to a fucking drunk. And laughing and having a good time, filling her pockets with money. Knowing somebody that she left my daughter with, or the man that she is in love with, sexually assaulted my little girl. And doesn't care. And that family on that side, some of them, I'm not going to say all because I know there's a few that are on this side of the fence, can sit there and say, you know, it sickens me when they post when it's my daughter's birthday or her anniversary or her death. They want to post a picture and say how much they miss her, and they show the tears and the crying and the little emojis and all this stuff. But where are they? Where are they on this fight? Where are they on this fight? They are in Kentucky. Some of them are still in Jeffersonville. Where are you? Where are you, Marianne? I just proved, without a doubt, 110%, shadow of a doubt, what you present in a courtroom, that your daughter was sexually assaulted. But tonight, you'll go home after you have a few drinks and tell your little sobbing stories at your job because, you know, the veterans there are going to give you money every time you got a little sobbing story. And you'll go home and you'll crawl right in that bed and you'll kiss that motherfucker that has my daughter's face tattooed on his chest and you'll say, I love you. You're a disgrace. You're a piece of shit. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. that you can't even come forward and give up the name of the men that was around your child that sexually assaulted your daughter. And I remember you telling me on the phone, shut up. Mackenzie wouldn't want this. Let it go. She's in a better place. That's what you told me, bitch, on the phone. You're about as dumb as that sheriff over there at Fayette County Sheriff's Office. If you think I'm just going to lay down and quit and give up, it ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. You're going to have to kill me to shut me up. And the difference between you and me is I'm ready to go. I want to see my daughter again. And that ain't mental, and that ain't being a psycho. That's being a father. Because like I said, half of me wants to be here for my children and my wife. The other half of me wants to be with my little girl. That's what you're playing with. That's what you're messing with. But when I have to sit there and listen to a man explain what they did to my little girl that night, or that day, or the day before, or all that whole time she was with her mother for the 3 months. When I have to sit there and listen to it, details to what that monster did to my little girl, and then knowing with the photographs that I seen to what they did afterwards when they set the house on fire and they caused her skin to boil and blister and slippage off of her skin, and to know that my little girl was in that bed with her eyes closed praying to God that she would be able to wake up tomorrow morning and go get her daddy. And you took that. You took that away from her. For your own greed. You took her life. You took her womanhood. You took her childhood. For your own fucking greed. And I don't give a rat's ass if they take every sexual pedophile in the United States and take them out to the fucking woods and put a bullet in every single one of their heads. I could care less. I would want to be one with the gun in my hand. I am sick of it, man. Hearing all the time of these kids and what they're going through. And that our justice system is not penalizing these son of a bitches. People, and this is sad, and this is a fact, there is people that owe child support that get longer time than a person that sexually assaults your child. That's a fact. And then I listen to people like Dave Yost, Mike DeWine, that's now our governor. I'm for the victims. I'm for the children. Who even in his own campaign and in his own being sworn in, talks about his daughter's death. But where are you, Mike DeWine? Where is our governor? Because your ass ain't down here in Fayette County finding out what the fuck went wrong. Dave Yost, our news station attorney, where are you? Where are you? I called them today. You know what they told me? And this is a God's honest truth. Matter of fact, I think I even recorded the tape. They told me that Dave Yost don't have time. He don't have time to talk to parents of victims that are children that are murdered and raped and sexually assaulted. They don't have time. Then what the fuck am I voting and putting you in that damn chair for? If I'm not allowed to talk to you, I have to talk to a representative, and half the time can't even speak English, so I don't even know what the hell they're saying to me. I asked that guy today. Well, I want to talk to my state attorney general. I want to talk to Dave Yost. Can't do that. What do you mean? Well, we don't do this, and this. What do you mean? Yeah, you do. BCI is part of you. So yeah, you do. No, we send everybody, we refer you to the justice system. And then he said, Dave Yost ain't going to come down to Fayette County just to talk to you and go against, here we go against his own political people, his own Republicans or Democrats or, whatever. He ain't going to come down here and he can't do anything. Then what the hell do we have him for? Well, I don't understand that. Then what's that chair for? Just to give $500,000 a year to somebody that don't do anything? Because I remember when Mike DeWine was in that chair, it was all about rape kit tests and victims, and I don't understand this. And then I asked him why my daughter case hasn't been yet sent to State Attorney General's office, unsolved homicides. You know what he told me? Well, ask your sheriff. Ask my sheriff, because that's who has to do it. Okay, I asked my sheriff. My sheriff won't talk to me. So, where'd I go? Who do I talk to? Somebody out there, come on. Somebody ought to know, man. Who am I supposed to go to? Who am I supposed to talk to? If this one's telling me to talk to my sheriff, because this one don't have time to come down here and talk to me. And I know that's a lie, because Mike DeWine went to the Roden family and he talked to that side of the family, and he even got up there when they made their arrest and made a big speech about all the agencies involved. So he has some pull somewhere. Quit blowing smoke up people's asses. We're not as dumb as you think we are. When I call the State Attorney General's office, I don't want to talk to a representative. I want to talk to the man that I just voted and put in that chair. That's supposed to be for victims and victims' families. But then I noticed, too, they don't have time because everybody's dealing with the heroin issue in the world. So, because a person goes down the street, puts a needle in the arm and overdoses, that's more important to try to get those people cleaned up than it is to find the person that sexually assaulted my daughter, set the house on fire, murdered my daughter, and then tried to burn her to where she couldn't be recognized. Drugs, murder. Drugs are going to be here for the rest of our lives. If it ain't heroin, it's going to be something else. If it ain't something else, it's going to be... Come on, man. Every day these kids out here try to figure out something else to make them get them high. I mean, you got Tide pods, or whatever you call. You got whatever those things are, bath beads, or whatever they're called, salt beads, or whatever. I mean, so it's going to be here forever. But you're going to leave a murderer, a rapist, and an arsonist out on the street to do this again to another family, to another child. That falls right back to where I was saying. It falls right back to what I was saying. Our justice system is fucked up. It's fucked. It is so screwed up, it's unreal. And you just heard it right there. This coroner say, well, he said it in their language, but I know in my language, in my language, the redneck language, more or less he's saying, we made fake documents to cover our own asses. That's what he said in my language. In his language, it's clean. He cleaned it up and just said we made fabrications and we did fabrication documents and they weren't actually, you know, when nobody put the time down when the clothes were destroyed. So when it went in the computer just gave a time. Man. But like I said, in my language, it's more or less, we fucked up. We know we fucked up. I got to cover this shit up. So we just made fake documents. I mean, it would have been better off to just say that in my language. And then, like I said, I look at the prosecutor. This is the man that's supposed to be representing my daughter. This is a man that's supposed to have so much respect for my child. And he ignores me. And all I wanted to ask was, hey, you talked to these witnesses yet? Hey, have you ran anybody's DNA yet? Hey, have you, found the documents to what happened? And that's the thing. Now I see why the sheriff's office said they didn't have nothing. I know now why. They didn't have nothing. They didn't do anything. They didn't file nothing. They didn't sign anything. But I can guarantee you one thing. I, as a parent, I, as a human being, I don't know who made that phone call. I really don't know. And if you remember listening to the tape that I had, even the detective said, I don't know if Detective Brown talked to Dr. Gay. That's right. Even he said it. We don't know. So I don't know if it was Dr. Gay that actually made that phone call. I have no clue who made that phone call. All I do know is there is people out here that sexually assaulted my daughter, set the house on fire, and murdered my little girl. That I do know. And because now of certain things I was told today, I'm looking at this a whole totally different way. And I'm telling you right now, within a month, and I'm going to say this, within a month, I will be able to prove who is involved 110% of my daughter's case. And I'm going to lay that file right on somebody's fucking desk. In a month. Because of the errors that were made, because of the way certain departments covered their reasons to why, and, the different stories. I mean, I got a sheriff saying that we destroyed the clothes because they were wet and singed. I proved they weren't wet, and I proved they weren't singed. Now I got a coroner saying they were destroyed because of soot. Okay, now, I do know there was soot on the clothes. So that could be a possibility, the truth. But I also have a coroner agreeing with me that those clothes should have never been destroyed. And then I've got a detective, a prosecutor, another coroner, all agreeing that those clothes shouldn't have been destroyed. But they were. They were destroyed. And then I got them all saying, which is the hardest thing to hear. It is a hard thing to hear. Well, we know the clothes are gone, but we ain't worried about it. We'll just move forward with what we got. You ain't got nothing, man. You ain't got a fucking thing until you come to Donald Branham's house, 765 Petticourt Avenue, Washington Courthouse 43160, and you sit your ass down in my fucking chair, and you listen, and you look, and you see what I got. Because that's the only fucking way you're going to solve this fucking case. And you can take that to the bank, because that's the truth. You made a big mistake, Fayette County. You forgot that I loved my children. And that I know in my father, I'm supposed to sacrifice my life for my child. That's my job. To protect them. And also give my life for theirs. That's our job. There's a lot of us parents out there that would do it in a heartbeat without even thinking. You know, like her little comment she made. What did the mom say? What did I do with that comment? Right, here we go. Remember what the mother said. Here's what the mother said. Because I see there's a lot of viewers on here. I want to tell y'all what the mother said about my little girl. Her exact words were, like I said, you can say what you want. But unless you were there, caught in the moment and the circumstances, you have no clue how things would have played out. That's what she said. Right there. So instead of sacrificing her life for Mackenzie, she said, more or less, unless the way it played out, I wouldn't know what to do. Bullshit. Bullshit, man. If my little girl was up in that room, like she said, talking to me, screaming, I can't find you, I can't see you, mommy, which we all know is a lie, but if my child was literally awake and trapped in a fire and telling me that she couldn't get to me, I would do everything in my life to get to her. And not only get to her, I damn sure wouldn't run up the fucking street and borrow a pair of shoes and leave my daughter in there. But make sure that I saved the dog. The dog was more important. I'm doing everything I can. Like I told somebody today when we were riding up there to, you know, I'm doing everything I can. I'm fighting this as hard as I can fight it. I've wrote so many letters. I've done these live feeds. I've sent videos. I've gone to the FBI. I've gone to the fire marshal. I've gone to BCI. I've gone to every agency you can think of going to. I have put a lot of time, a lot of mileage, a lot of hours into this, but that I'm not worried about. That's my job. That's my job as a father. And I know during this journey, I knew I was going to run into the things that I have ran into. I have seen photographs of my daughter before she was killed and the marks and the bruises on her body. I've seen her photographs when they brought her into the morgue and what she looked like and everything. I have looked and seen my daughter after the exhuming and what she looks like in 2017 to what she looked like in 2006 to what she looked like the day that I brought her home from the hospital. I have seen a lot. I have seen more than I wanted to see. I have seen things that would make anybody sick to their stomach. I think I've held myself together good. I've worked on this case very hard. I've kept calm. But my calm is running out. I've asked people to help. I've asked people to support this. I've asked people when I go and protest to be there. I mean, I've done everything I can as a father. I can't make choices for other people. I can't make other people do what they don't want to do. There's some people out there that believe what I'm doing is wrong. I know that. I know there's people out there that say, how can he show those pictures? The thing is, the difference between me and those people is I show reality. I show truth. But what I show of my little girl is no different than sitting at home and watching a horror movie, or sitting at home and you flip through Facebook and you see where somebody did something to a child. The child's got stitches all over their face and stuff. It's no different. It's no different. The difference is, my part is I'm showing you reality. I am showing you what happened to my little girl. And I know my little girl would want me to share this with you. You got to understand, I literally looked at a photograph with marks on my daughter's arms the day of her death when they took her school picture. I saw that school picture again when it was tattooed on a motherfucker's chest, and him saying, in honor of his daughter. I have seen photographs of my daughter laying on a cold steel table with her skin slipping off of her bones and her face burnt and her legs, her little legs and her little toes and her little feet. And then I've seen photographs of my little girl where the forensic lady is holding a precious little tiny hand in her hand without the arm attached to it. I have seen a lot. I don't regret what I have done. I don't regret what I've seen. It builds my strength to do what I'm doing. It builds my strength to move forward with this. It builds my strength to make sure that that the people out there learn from this. They get an education from what I've been through and what I'm going through, so that you don't go through this. So that you don't have those roadblocks that I had. So that you can say, man, I remember this story about this little girl, and I don't want to see those photographs, so I'm going to ask this question so that I don't. That's the whole thing about it. This is an educated story. This is my little girl's story. This is telling you from the day that I brought her home from the hospital to her last breath, to what happened to her, to what these monsters did, and to let you know what the justice system has failed in. And I'm proud that I do this. I am proud that I do live feeds. I am proud that I share this stuff with you guys. I am proud that you guys see what I have been through, so that if this ever happens to your loved one, you don't go through the same things I did. You want to talk about nightmares? You want to talk about being sick? You want to talk about being to the bottom of the barrel, to your last, But I learned one thing from being at that bottom: how to rise, how to come out of there and come out strong and come out fighting. And that's what I did. I never turned to alcohol, and I never turned to drugs. With everything I've been through and everything I have shown you guys, I have never once thought about drugs or alcohol. And I'm proud of myself. I am proud of myself that I have never turned to those weaknesses, because that's what they are, weaknesses, to try to make the pain go away. I learned that it's better to take that pain head on and beat it. And beat it with a clear mind. And because of that, that's why I'm where I am today. I guarantee you my daughter would not want me to look into her case drunk or high. Like I said, this is about Mackenzie. not about Donald Branham. So, you biased people uptown that can't stand me, go fuck yourself. I could care less. One way or another, you're going down for what happened to Mackenzie Taylor Branham's case. One way or another, you're going down. And I hope if something ever happens to me, somebody will look into mine. Because I guarantee you, it's because of what I did. But am I afraid? No. Do I know that it's a possibility it could happen? Yes. Hell, they closed my daughter's mouth. Somebody might try to close mine. But I'll go down with my last breath knowing one thing. I fought hard for my little girl, and I loved my little girl. And I'm not ashamed of what I do or what I say. Like I said, if you don't like what I have to say, if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't have to read it. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to listen to it. Plug your ears, cover your eyes, cover your mouth. I'm not forcing anybody. But I will thank everybody out there that has supported her. I will thank you guys, everyone that has sent funds to help me with this and keep moving forward and doing the things I do. And I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way, and please don't take it that away. But I just want to prove a point. Just like tonight, to present this to you guys tonight, it cost me about $50 to go get a CD, stuff transferred over to a CD, to download stuff, and to buy USB drives, to do this kind of stuff. It costs money. And it's worth every dime I spend on my little girl. But I want to thank everybody that, like I said, that has supported her. Everybody that has sent funds in to help me keep moving forward. Everyone that has made a gift and sent it to me. Cards. Everyone that has her poster, which I have some bracelets and posters that I'm trying to get out. That some people have already paid for. I will get those out to them. The gifts are the most wonderful thing. Like I said, I'm building a thing for Mackenzie's wall. So those gifts that people handmade and stuff can go on them, on her shelves. I thank everybody that has contacted me or called me and just talked to me. I thank the ones that have given me rides to where I need to go and do the things I do. To meet the people that I need to meet. Sometimes it's exciting to give me a ride. You never know what you're getting into. And some of them out there know this. But I can guarantee you justice is coming. I can guarantee you that. Justice is coming on both ways. On my daughter's death, her sexual assault, and her murder is coming. And then on the other side of the people that didn't do their job, it's coming. And you know, the sad part about this is I asked them in the beginning, and some of you guys that's been with me know this for a fact. I asked in the beginning, just fix this. Make it right. Just fix it and make it right, and let's go get them. They chose not to. They chose not to. So whatever I expose, whatever I share with you guys, is not sharing confidential information. Because like I said, they ain't gave me nothing. They ain't give me one damn thing. You know what they gave me? I'll tell you what they gave me. They brought me down to the sheriff's office April. No, I'm sorry. I'm take that back. May 4th. May 4th. They brought me down to the Sheriff's Annex building on May 4th. And what they gave me was, hey, Mr. Branham, this is not an accident. This is an arson and your daughter was murdered. That's all they gave me. On May 4th, 2006, that's what they told me. 3 days after my daughter was buried. That's what they told me. They ain't give me nothing else. They ain't asked for nothing. I'm the one that gave them the coroner's report that was lost suspiciously and that was found. I'm the one that gave them the addresses, phone numbers, names of all the witnesses that was outside and watching the fire, that seen the fire before the fire department got there and the law got there. I gave them that. I gave them, let's see, what else did I have given them? I given them tapes, which obviously some are missing. They can't find them. So, I've given them stuff. But it didn't go nowhere. They ain't giving me nothing. Zero. So when he sits out there and yells, well, Mr. Branham, the reason we don't share stuff with Mr. Branham is because he leaks it out to the public. He ain't gave me nothing anyways. And the newspaper is the one that already said that it was ruled an arson and a murder. So I didn't leak that out. Newspaper did. This is before I even did live feeds. This is before I even talked on Facebook. So, you can't blame me. Because nothing else you've given me. Even the exhuming. Even the friggin' exhuming. They screwed up. Because they're not even supposed to touch anything on that grave. Until the Fayette County Sheriff's Office is there. Set up. Cameras ready. Before they even stick the first thing into that ground. And even then, and my wife knows this is true, even then, they screwed that up. They already was cutting, sticking rods in the ground, everything. Already screwed up right from the beginning of even the exhuming. Get a phone call, and me and my wife and a friend of ours was there, and we watched the man running down through the graves, saying, ho, 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 stop, stop, stop. And stopped everything. And then here come the Fayette County Sheriff's Office. Of course, taking their time. And they come rolling up. And then they set up their cameras and da-da-da-da. And then took her off. Took her down to a fire station. Did the exhuming in the fire station. Brought her back. We put her in the ground. They already fucked up in the beginning of this. Because how are they going to explain to a defense attorney or anybody those flags sticking up out of the ground and the rods before their cameras were even set up? But my wife, she's got the video. She's got the video from the time we got there until the time we left. Oh, I got 5% on my phone. So, I'm going to plug this in real quick. Oh, that's not the one. I don't have one down here. Kim, if you're up there, I need a charger. Well, like I said, you guys, I love you guys. I love everything about you guys. I got 5% on my phone because I don't know where a charger is. We have children and they use them everywhere, so I don't have a charger for this phone. Or I might have. Wait a minute. I might be wrong. Let me see here. I don't even know where you plug it in. And is it this? Yep, okay. Alright, I'm good, you guys. I'm good. Alright. So, I'm glad that I got to share with the stuff tonight. I'm going to go through your guys' messages and stuff. Like I said, it's sad, man, what I heard today. It's sad what the prosecutor did to me today. So, I'm not gonna stop fighting this, you guys. I'm not gonna allow them to get away with this. I'm not gonna allow the justice system that failed my daughter get away with it. It's not gonna happen. Anybody out there, like I said this before, anybody out there, you got anything, any directions that you can point me towards, do it. You know, anybody out there with any information, I'm still looking for that person that walked into the fire station and dropped off the letter. I don't know what my wife is trying to say there. Something about Sprite. Haley out there. Is Haley Howard, are you still on there? I know this is one of your favorite songs. If you guys can pump hearts for my little girl, I appreciate it.
I wanna be a part of somebody finding love, somebody finding love unfailing. I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody finding life, somebody finding life everlasting. I wanna play a part, I wanna play a part of somebody finding hope, somebody finding hope in God of heaven. It's my desire.
And anybody who wants to stay after the song and ask any questions, I'll take questions after this, and I'll try to answer them the best way I can answer them.
I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody else's story, somebody else's story of redemption. I wanna be the one, I wanna be the one to shine the light of Jesus into their darkness. So lead me to that someone, I pray. Lord, I wanna bring you glory in somebody else's story, somebody else's story. I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part. Somebody finding comfort, somebody finding comfort when they're hurting. And I wanna play a part, I wanna play a part of caring for the widow, sheltering the orphan. It's my desire, Lord, you use me to change somebody else's destiny. I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody else's story, somebody else's story of redemption. I wanna be the one, I wanna be the one to shine the light of Jesus into their darkness. So lead me to that someone, I pray. Lord, I wanna bring you glory, somebody else's story. I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody else's story, somebody else's story of redemption. This hope in me was not meant to be contained inside. I've gotta give it away, give it away. This hope in me was not meant to be contained inside. I've gotta give it away, give it away. 'Cause I wanna be a part, I wanna be a part of somebody else's story, somebody else's story of redemption.
Alright, I'm on here now on my other phone, you guys. So anybody wants to ask any questions, you're more happy to answer what I can answer for you guys. Anybody out there too, I mean, all you gotta do is text message me. I had a gentleman that text messaged me a couple nights ago on a situation with his family and children, and I was able to talk to this person and help them the best way I could. I have no problem looking into anybody else's cases. So anybody out there that has something or they feel something wasn't right, I can try to help you guys. All you got to do is hit me up, text message me. All I ask for is to trust in this, to believe in this, and we are going to get justice for Mackenzie. One way or another, we're going to get it. We always got to remember, in the beginning of this, for the first 10 years, they did nothing but the fire. So, that first 10 years, they worked on the fire. That left the sexual assault wide open. That gives us the right to re-question people, do lie detector tests. It gives us the right to look into the sexual assault, because I guarantee you the sexual assault and what my daughter was going to tell me is why she's no longer with us today. The fire was a cover-up. What they did with all these, they want to call errors and mistakes, that was the cover-up, the cover-up to what happened to my daughter that night. And Connie, you're right. Whether on earth or in hell, someone's going to pay. You're right. And somebody will. And that's the truth. That is the truth, what my mom keeps saying. Process of elimination, which has never been done. So how is, if they have never done a process of elimination and ran people's DNA, then how can the sheriff sit there and say, I have no person of interest and I have no suspects? Because technically, everyone's a suspect. Because they haven't eliminated nobody but me and my wife. So, without doing process of elimination and running people's DNA and eliminating these people that they're not the one that did the sexual assault, we'll get to the point to the person that did this. And then when you get to that point, you'll know who set the fire. And then to get to that point, you'll know who is the actual main person behind it all. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's the mother. She is the main person behind everything that happened to my little girl. And she was protected by the law. And that day is over with. I have proven to you guys about the prosecutor. I have talked to you guys and showed you about the sheriff's office and everything. I have proven my point. And the thing of it is, I go back to what a person told me one day. You don't have nothing to prove. You didn't do this. But obviously, every day I have to prove who I am. So, anybody out there, like I said, if you got any questions to ask, you're more than welcome to ask me. I can answer them the best way I can. I think it was pretty sad what we heard tonight, that they pretty much fabricated stuff to make it look like this stuff happened at this time, and it didn't. They didn't even know. They didn't even know the times when people ordered stuff and did stuff. They had no clue at all. And a lot of you guys mentioned about, what did you guys say? You guys said something about, oh, I can't remember. How does a mom do that to a child of theirs? I don't know. I have no answer to that. You know, and you're probably right, Rose, born evil. You know, what's worse than that, not only that she knows who killed my daughter and everything, she allowed this. She allowed this to happen. And nobody can sit here and argue with me on this live feed, cannot argue with me and say, that mother wouldn't have done this. That mother couldn't have done this. Because I'll call you a liar straight to your face. She is the main person behind this all. You cannot tell me she did not know who was sexually assaulting my little girl. You cannot tell me she doesn't know what males that she knows that was watching my daughter or was with my daughter up until her death. You can't sit there and tell me that. You can't sit there and tell me. You know, one of the things I would love to know, honestly, I would love to know, I wonder, has she ever asked, literally turned to her boyfriend, the piece of shit motherfucker. I wonder if she ever really has ever turned to him and asked, have you ever touched my daughter? I wonder if she ever asked that motherfucker that question. Even knowing that he has hurt other children. Not sexually, but he has hurt other children. So I'm wondering if she's ever asked him, have you ever touched my daughter? Can you get in contact with the guy and woman who did the TV series of Missing Women in Chillicothe? I don't know if I can or not on that one, Rick. I believe she did. That's why her sleepover party, she took her away for 2 hours. Something happened that night also, I bet. You're right on that. I believe that. Take them to Steve Wilkos. Melissa, I've already contacted Steve Wilkos, and he literally called me back on a personal phone call. I literally talked to him, and he said that he wanted to do the story, but when they contacted the other party, they refused to go on the show. And yeah, Holly, I kind of agree, but I just, it's one of those questions, Holly, where you want to know. You would like to know, has she ever asked? Has she ever asked any of her brothers? Has she asked anybody? Any males that she knows has been around her daughter? Has she ever asked them, have you touched my child? Yes, Connie, I agree there. my daughter is in a better place. But I can tell you right now, even though I know she's in a better place, she's not feeling any pain anymore. She has no fears. I still would love to have my little girl with me. And I've said this before. I wish they would have brought my little girl out of there burned, but alive. I would have. I would never have looked at the burns or not. I'd have looked at my little girl. I'd have still been there for her. I'd have still loved her. I'd have had her. The hardest part is not being able to hold her, not being able to hug her, not being able to talk to her is the hardest part of this whole thing. Me and my daughter were close. Closer than I was with my boys. And it has torn me apart. And the anger comes into play on this. And you know, one minute I want to go do this, and then I stop myself. And I know it's not me stopping myself, it's Mackenzie stopping me. And yeah, Kim, I agree with that. I've contacted Dr. Phil. I know, I appreciate you guys throwing these people out there and telling me did I contact. I say this always on my live feed. Between me and other viewers on my Facebook page and the people that watch my live feed, we have sent so many letters. We have sent so many the stories of Mackenzie to all these places. Nobody's answered nothing. I don't know why. I have no clue on this. Maybe I think it's one of those things where God, you know, the old saying, God only gives you what you can handle. And I think God believes that what I've got, I can handle this. And maybe he wants the victory to be my victory and not somebody else's victory. And that's what I believe. Because I've watched other stories. And my daughter, I'm like, wow, man, look, I'm watching this story, you know, and it's like, wow, you know, what about my daughter, man? Why can't I get these people to, you know, look into my daughter's case and stuff? So I think in that God wants me to have that victory. And that's what I believe. I believe my daughter trusts in me, or she'd have never gave this to me. She'd have never woke me up and told me, Dad, I want you to tell my story. I want you to solve my homicide. So that's where I believe in that part. And I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest dead giveaways, Teresa Wilson, I do have a medium, and we do talk. One of the things I listened to was when I played that deputy that was at my daughter's crime scene, the first one that was there. And he said exactly what everybody says. When they brought my daughter out of that house and was walking her down the street to the ambulance, that mother should not have ever sat on that porch. That mother should have been at the back of that ambulance doors banging the shit out of them to try to get in there to her little girl. And because she didn't move and she didn't get up and then she didn't even scream out, oh my God, my daughter's dead, or anything, tells me she already knew. She already knew my daughter was gone. Right, and you're right, Rose, and he said that he found that to be odd. And that's when his flags went up. You're right, because of the mother's actions. And I'm going to tell you right now, my mom found a story, and I think one of you on here has watched that story, where a mother killed her kids, 3 kids. They had no evidence, no clue, no evidence whatsoever. Her actions actually put her away in prison because of the actions that she did after the fact. of her children's death. And let me tell you something. Marianne's actions, man, that smells guilty. And I mean, it smells high to heaven. It smells guilty. Ain't nobody go on no vacation when you're told that your daughter's been murdered. Ain't nobody go on vacation. Ain't nobody come back here and just tell the other parent, you need to shut up, let it go, leave her alone, let her rest in peace. My daughter ain't resting in peace. So, but then I look at the other side, the law side, and I see, clothes being destroyed, hair being destroyed, a ladder missing, tapes missing on her case, all this stuff. And the thing of it is, I haven't had one person question me on the question saying, I need to look into this because, man, there's a lot of negligence on the law side. And now, after hearing that tape tonight, it proves it 100%. Negligence all the way. I know April 27th, 2019. That is my daughter's 13th year of her death. I am going to hold a protest on that day. I will not tell you where it's going to be until I get closer to the day, because I don't want anybody trying to fuck it up. I hope and pray that a lot of you guys show up to this protest and that we push celebrating the anniversary of my daughter's death. We push for them to do their job. So I'm hoping, I know it is going to be April 27th. I am doing a 24-hour event in this protest and try to get the word out and try to push and get them to do their job. I'm hoping that a lot of you guys will say, you know what, this ain't about my job, this ain't about me, this ain't about whether I like this person as a sheriff or not a sheriff. This is about justice for Mackenzie. I'm going to stand there beside this father. I think I have proven enough in my daughter's case that this whole case is out of whack. And I need the support of people fighting this with me. So I'm giving everybody an advance notice, plenty of time, April 27th, 2019, and then anybody, as I get closer to that date, I'll keep informing everybody. But also, when we get to that date, I will tell you where it's going to be at. And I just want to do this for Mackenzie. I think we have enough that we can actually push the right people to do their job. Kim, I know you'll be there. I know you and your mom will be there. So that's one of the main things I'm going to do. And the thing of it is, I believe it's on a Saturday, April the 27th, 2019. I think it's on a Saturday. I'm going to probably try to get the park, Hyman Park, like I did before. As I get closer to that, I would like it, like if everybody could bring out, that comes out, bring a covered dish, and let's feed the families. That might be their only meal that they get that day. So I would like to do that in honor of Mackenzie, is feed the community, beyond the community. Anybody, wants to bring their children to this. So I'm going to make that work and make that happen. And I'll probably have a video of my daughter's story by then made. I'm going to try to work out and make a video to show everybody from the time that she was born up until her death. I'll be out there. There'll be I'm going to try to get other people out there, some advocates out there, anybody that needs to talk to somebody, any children that need to talk to somebody. But it also is going to be a protest to get them to push this, to to get this going the right way. So that's what I want to do. I will get with some of the other people that I know. I'll get a flyer made up and everything, and we'll get it posted and get it out there. And I wish there was a place in Jeffersonville I could do this, because that's where actually the crime happened. I don't know, maybe I can get with somebody that lives in Jeffersonville that might know an area or a place or something big enough to hold people and do something for everybody. If not, it'll be at Iman Park, which is one of my favorite places. I love Iman Park. I try to do somewhere where kids can go and play and have a place to do other things as the parents are talking and communicating and stuff like that. So I am going to do something for her 13th year anniversary in honor of my daughter. I will get a hold of the fire department, see if we can get some fire trucks up there for the kids. I can get a hold of Chris Young and see about getting the smokehouse, because I want kids to learn also about fires. I want them also to understand what that fireman represents, what that fireman does, and get some more training into these kids and some of these parents that don't know what to do in case of a fire. And so I want to do that and make it a big fire event too. So, because I appreciate, like I said, the only heroes in this is the firemen. They're the heroes. They're the ones that brought my little girl out as Mackenzie. And to bring her out, and then when I went to her funeral and I was able to have the coffin open up, I saw my little girl. And I got to hold, they let me, a lot of parents don't get the opportunity to hold their child again. I got the opportunity to hold my little girl. And I got to hold Mackenzie. And that was the greatest gift that the fire department could give me. They didn't, even though the mom and boyfriend waited 20 minutes to let them know that she was in there, they still went in there, they still risked their life, and they still brought out my little girl. They still brought Mackenzie out, and some parents ain't fortunate enough to have that. And so those are my heroes, and that's the fire department. They'll always be my heroes. And a lot of people don't understand their job and what they go through and what they see. Because I guarantee you, and I know some firemen that are very close to me, trust me, the night that my daughter died, a part of them died with her. There was a lot of people that did know Mackenzie. And that's another thing that bothered me, was there's so many people that did know her. And we need to stand up, and we need to get this out. We need to, even at this event, call the fucking newspaper people. Call the channel 610 News. Get them down there, because they need to know the truth. They need to put it out there, the truth. That's what needs to be told. So, like I said, April 27, 2019, I'll be doing an event. If anything else comes up between now and then, I'll go live. I know I am going to go live. I know, again, either this week or next week. And it's right back to the mother. So, that's my discussion. And I'm going to prove some things on there. Matter of fact, I'll just tell you. I'm going to do what the Fayette County Sheriff's Office should have done. I'm going to show you how to prove a case. I'm going to show you all her stories and then all the stuff behind my evidence that proves those are lies. It's going to be a good one. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, sometimes she's on here, on my live feed, so maybe she might come down and we might be able to do a live video with her. I've asked her before to come. I think, Sean, you remember that, and Sarah, when I invited her to come down and tell her side. We all wanted to hear the accident, that she keeps saying. And like I said before, she might call it an accident. I know the truth. But number one is you can't sexually assault or rape somebody accidentally. So, it's not an accident. But she can keep believing that. That's fine. So I appreciate everybody. I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and play another song just to finish this out. Thank you. I mean, there's 30-something people on here. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys that stayed on here for her and for my daughter. I love every single one of you guys. You guys touch my heart in so many ways. I appreciate everybody that comes and takes me to do the things I need to do to keep this going too. I appreciate everybody that's put the hours and the time into copying stuff for me, getting it, because I don't know the technology part of it, but I do know the criminal part. So I appreciate all your guys' help, the people that take time out and come and pick things up for me and do what I ask of them, and the ones that take me to these court hearings and everything. I appreciate it with all my heart. I honestly do. It means a lot to me. So I'm going to play this last song. I hope you guys stay on long enough to hear this song. Some of you have heard it. Some of you guys know what it means. I pray to God for every one of you guys that you don't ever have to go through what I have gone through or deal with what I have dealt with. I would never wish this on my worst enemy. Power up those hearts for my little baby girl again if you can. Show her that you love her and that you're thinking of her tonight and that you care for what she stands for. And I love every one of you guys.
From halfway round the world, 'cause Jesus hears the earth and He's moving heaven and earth, all for one little girl. I heard Jesus calling, will you go and rescue her? All for one little girl. Little did you know we were coming, 'cause Jesus hears the orphan. She's a woman now with grateful eyes, with her husband thanks the skies, a dad and a mom, a forever home, a world away down on their knees. Jesus heard the faithful pleas that tell a little boy again how his legacy of love began. And now he's here from halfway round the world. Jesus, will you go and rescue hell? All for one little boy. Little did he know they were coming, 'cause Jesus
Thank you, you guys. God bless you all, your family, your children. I'm going to say a special prayer for everybody tonight. So I thank you guys. Good night. Love you all.